Hello everybody, long time no see. I'm sorry I've been absent for such a long time. Where have I been? Work has been really hard. I started going back to work in March this year, and I was doing one morning a week, and I've been gradually sort of increasing this, and yeah, it's just taken a lot out of me. I think it's a testament, really, isn't it, to how pervasive long COVID has been, and I think we don't really hear about it an awful lot. So I don't want this to turn into a moan about long COVID and about my health and stuff, but you know, chronic fatigue that I'm still suffering with, sort of 3.5 years after I had COVID, and you know, it is impacting my ability to work. So no, anyway, I'm up to 3 mornings a week now, which is great, but the problem is that the more work I do, the less time I have to do other things, or not the less time so much, because I'm only doing 3 mornings a week, but it's the less energy I have, and unfortunately podcasting was the thing that just seemed to end up falling by the wayside. So I'm really sorry. I will try and do it a bit more regularly from now on, but who knows? Who knows? It just depends how I'm feeling and how much more work I end up taking on. I'm not getting any pressure from work at all. They're being absolutely fantastic. They're so supportive. But obviously, you know, I need to earn a living, so that's the way it is, I'm afraid. So yeah, I've really missed you all. I've really missed podcasting, but hopefully now I'll be able to carry on and do a bit more. So in the meantime, I have been quite busy. I've done quite a lot of things, and so I've got quite a lot to show you today. So I will get started. I've got a list, because I've got so much that I've actually, it goes on the other page. So I'm going to have to make sure I refer to it, because otherwise I'm bound to forget something. So first thing, if you remember last time in my podcast, I was showing you that I'd finished this laptop bag, which has been much used. It's really handy, because the odd times I actually go into work, mostly I work from home, but I do occasionally go into the office, and when I do, I have to take my laptop with me in my backpack, and so this is just really great just for keeping it safe. And last time I sort of said to you that I was then going to make a bag to put in my headphones and my laptop cable, so I have now made this bag. So this is it. So again, I use the same sort of thing as before. I did the hexes. This is English paper piecing, and then I just added this top, and actually this is the lining as well. And I don't know how well you can see inside, but I actually put a divider in to keep the headphones separate from the cable. So there. So this piece here goes all the way across the bag. So I've actually got my headphones in at the moment, but I haven't got the cable in because I'm just charging my laptop at the moment. So this keeps it all nice and safe. I had a lovely bit of green cord, which I got from Emmaus, my favourite place to go and get bits and pieces. So this is all done. Same as the other one, the cats love it. It's covered in cat hair. Still, as I said before, my fault for having cats. Anyway, so that's that. So I did that one. So I took that into my knitting group. Excuse me. A really dry throat this morning. Took that into my knitting group and showed my friends, and one of my friends was said, "Oh wow," she said, "I used to." She's an older friend. She said, "I used to do loads and loads of hexes, English paper piecing hexes, but I can't do it anymore." Oh, by the way, stop now. That tinkling noise you can hear in the background. I've got a glass a wind chime type thing outside, and I've got the door open because it's so hot. I couldn't possibly not have the door open. So I do apologise if you can hear a bit of background noise from outside. So what was I saying? Yeah, so my friend said I used to do loads of hexes and English paper piecing. She used to do it at the caravan when she was on holiday, and she said, but her eyes have got now, so she can't actually see to do the stitching, and she said, would I like them? And some fabric as well. And I was just like, oh, since when do I ever ever turned down a freebie. So I was like, yeah, definitely. Anyway, she brought me in this bag of stuff. Let me just see if I got it here. Yeah. So in this bag that she gave me, look at these. So she's done all these hexes, absolutely beautiful, masses and masses of them. And then there's also a load more fabric that she cut into squares, ready to make into them, and then a load more hexes that she's actually sort of made up there. So there's masses and masses to go at. I was just like, oh my god. And I was just, the colours are just so me, you know. Look at this lovely one, look at that, sort of tea cakes and things, isn't it? And then there's all sorts of really, look at that, that's just so cool. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, really lovely patterns and colours, and oh, I was just like, I was in love. So I was like, I have to do something with these. I have to do something that does justice to this absolutely wonderful amount of work that my friend had done. So I decided that I was going to make a quilt. So I've got all bags sort of hung on the back of my chair with all my projects in to keep the cats off them. And I've got all tangled up. Hang on. There we go. Right. I might need to stand up for this one. Hang on. So here, this is how far I have got. I'm just really pleased with this. It's just coming together really well. And at the moment, I'm just kind of randomly adding stuff on. But I am going to make it into a sort of quilt. Maybe a single bed size quilt or something like that. I'm not sure. I might end up making it a square one. I shall see. So let me just show you the back. So as you can see, hold it up to the camera. So each of the pieces, maybe you can't really see very well, they each have a little piece of paper inside, and then what I do is you fold over the edges and then just tack round just to hold them in place. And then as you get away from as they become more central, because you're adding more stuff further down, you can then take the paper pieces out. So this is somewhere I've taken the paper pieces out here, so it just helps it to fold up slightly better. So basically at the moment, all the actual ones with paper in are the ones which go round the edge, as it were. So you can see, obviously that's a very obvious one that's got the paper still in. So it's just so fun. And again, now I don't know how well the camera is going to pick this up, but if you look, where's a good one? There we go, let's see if you can see. Hang on, let me try this again. No, it's not going to show. It's just focusing on my face. Stop focusing on my face. So this here is lots and lots of tiny stitches. So this is all hand stitched basically, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of work gone into this. All the cream, I got a cream tablecloth from Emmaus, of course, and I've been putting them together. And as you can see, my stitching is not perfect. There are a little bit of rumples and things, but I think that by the time it's actually made into a quilt and quilted together, you won't actually see those bits. So I've always been scared of quilting because it calls for accuracy, and accuracy is not my strong point. I just like to kind of chuck it all together quite often. But I am really enjoying this. Really, as you can tell, I've done loads. So I've still got all these ones to go. So I'm going to add all those, and then I've got enough sort of extra little hexes to do sort of like half ones to go around the edge, and then I'm going to decide how I'm going to do the edge. So at the moment it's still fairly much in free flow, but I think it's getting to the point where soon I'm going to have to decide how big it's going to be, what shape it's going to be, and how I'm going to do the edging, because at the moment I really don't know. I shall be back to my friend and say, what do you think? How should I edge it? I'm not really sure. Because obviously these things that I did before, they didn't really have an edging as such. I just sort of, you know, did it across the top of the hexes in that bit there. So yeah, really chuffed with this, and it's just like, it's new. Like I needed a new hobby, but still, it's a new thing for me to do. So, just put that back in that bag for now, because I've talked about that. So I've talked about that. So actually what I've just done is I've shown you a finished project, and I've now shown you a project in progress. So as usual, I'm not doing any, oops, I'm all off centre, aren't I? I'm not doing any anything in order. So, sorry. Right, what should I tell you about next? Oh, last time I was making a baby cardigan in a sort of really lovely sort of bubblegum pink. Sorry, excuse me if you don't like the sound of people drinking. I'm really sorry, I'm very thirsty. So yeah, I did this cardigan in lovely bubblegum pink, and I was doing the lace edging, and unfortunately I don't have that to show you because it's already gone to the person that, my friend that I'd made it for. She was absolutely delighted. She sent me a picture of her baby in the other little cardigan, which I did show you finished, which is the one by Mariana Mel. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's got little cables down the sides, and I think I put little pink buttons on it and things. And she sent me a picture of her baby wearing it at about 5 weeks, I think. And it was generous on her, and I'd made the newborn size. So I was really glad that I had actually made the tiniest one, because it meant that she had a cardigan to wear, for her to wear. And then the other cardigan is a bigger one, and the hats are bigger again. So again, they will fit her towards the end of the summer, and the hats will fit into the autumn. So I was really pleased that I'd done what I said I would, and I'd put the I'd made the smallest size cardigan, so that was good. But yeah, nothing to show you for that, so sorry. What else have I been up to? I finished these socks. I didn't show them in the last episode, and I'm not sure if I'd shown them in the one before, but I really like them. So this was an unknown yarn which I had in my stash. And it's really, look at the way the colour goes. It just sort of very subtly changes. And so the next sock was slightly different again. And it's just, I love the colour of this. It's sort of bleaching out a little bit in the sun, because I'm stupidly sitting with my back to the window. And look, I've just noticed, I knew I dropped a stitch somewhere. Look, right at the top. Oh my god. And when I finished them, I thought I must go back and sort out that drop stitch that I noticed, because I think I only noticed it when I was about there or something. I thought, I'm not going all the way back up, and then forgot about it. And oh, I'm really glad I've just seen that now, so I shall catch that in and sew it up. The socks actually don't look like they match. Particularly in this light, actually, but they do. Honestly, they're both from the same ball of wool, and look, if I put them like that, you can sort of see the way the colour goes. So yeah, they're lovely. The wool is lovely and soft. I wish I had some information for you about what it is, but I have no idea. There was no label with it. It was given to me by a friend. I always tend to just knit plain socks. I know lots of people do lovely fancy patterns and things, but for me, sock making is my what's the word? It's my mindless one. So if I just want some knitting to do, I don't want to concentrate on it, I just want to keep my hands busy, then that's when I tend to make socks. So that's why I tend to do ones without cables and without patterns. And I think the ones with cables and patterns are so beautiful. I really love them. But to me, for me, the plain sock is the best way to go. So it's good for giving my tired brain a rest while my hands still want to be busy, you know. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with those. They're really lovely, really nice to wear. Okay, I'm going to show you another finished project now. Now this one is one I actually started and finished in between the last podcasts. So do you remember I made a royal blue cardigan, and it was one of these great big hexy cardigans, and it was massive. I mean, it's really so big that I ought to sort of think about taking it apart and actually making it again a bit smaller, because it is huge. I did want a big cardigan, but I think I went a bit over the top. I'm not great with sizing, I don't think. Anyway, I digress. My second oldest wanted a cardigan. I am just, have I got any more tea left? I think. Oh, finish it off. Should have got another cup, shouldn't I, before I started, or a glass of water or something. Never mind. My second oldest wanted a cardigan. I'd done sweaters for my oldest son and his spouse, and I'd done a sweater for my youngest son, and my second oldest said I would love a cardigan. So I said, right, okay, I'm going to make you one then. And they sent me the pattern they wanted me to use. I'm just going to take it out of the plastic pocket so that it doesn't shine. So I actually bought this pattern. I don't usually buy patterns, do I? So, but this one is the one by Hobby, and it is called the Horizon Cardigan, and it's designed by Crafty Mask. It's not that expensive. I think I paid like £3.50 for it or something like that. So it's, you know, it's a decent, it's a reasonable price, I should say. I have a real issue with the whole thing about paying for patterns. So many people that actually design patterns for a living, and this is their living, and this is how they make their money, and I completely support that, and I totally believe that, you know, we should be paying for patterns when they're, you know, they're really great. But at the same time, if you're on a very small budget, then paying for a pattern can put it completely out of your reach. So I am so thankful for all the people who put out free patterns as well. Having got back to work, I can now afford to buy a pattern. So yeah, so this one's by Hobby. I found it, the instructions were pretty good. I found it fairly easy to follow, and I'll show you the finished cardigan. I must say, I did not choose the colourway. The colourway was chosen by my second oldest. It's not a colourway that I would have gone with at all. They were very, they said to me, you're not going to like the colours, and I'm just like, well, it's just not what I would have chosen. But anyway, so this is the finished cardigan. So I used Starcraft Special DK, and the colours we have used are let's see, walnut, copper, camel, petrol, teal, lobelia, and violet, I think. I'm not sure, can't remember. Anyway, let me just put it on and then you can just see the full effect. I mean, it's really glorious sort of retro style, isn't it? And my kid wanted the brown to be the main colour. So let me just see if I can stand up, just show you. So the only thing I'm not sure about is the neck. It looks kind of a bit funny, but still, I mean, I think it'll sit all right on. It's they wanted the grey, the brown to be the accent colour. So now in the pattern, they've used variegated yarn to get this effect. And Rowan wanted all the you know, this to be all the missed a thread there, haven't I? Rowan wanted to use the different colours in stripes, so I had to do quite a bit of fiddling to get it to work, but it did, and it worked fine. So I did the brown on the cuffs and on the front here. It also is, the brown goes out around the shoulder, and I don't know whether it's, oops, you certainly can't see from my hair. On the back, I'm assuming you can see there's a sort of a central stripe of brown down the back as well. So it actually took quite a bit of fiddling to get the colours all in the right place, but obviously that's not the fault of the pattern. And then Roman chose these lovely wooden buttons just to go on it so that they can do it up. So it's a nice roomy cardigan. It's nice and baggy. It's pardon me, it's not as big as my one, but it's, you know, fits really nice. So it's too hot to wear a cardigan. I'm going to send that off to them this week. This was another thing that made me think, right, I've got to get this podcast done, because I really wanted to show you this cardigan. So yeah, if you're wanting to do one of these hexi cardigans, I would definitely consider using the hobby pattern Horizon cardigan, because it's a nice pattern. If you want to do stripes in, you have to do the fiddling yourself. It's because they used a variegated yarn. Oh, you could just use a variegated yarn, make your life easier, you know. Don't know why I didn't think of that. Right, so that's that. Tick. Okay, what else have I got to tell you about? Oh, so I've been doing a lot of sewing recently. And although this is a blog about knitting and crochet, I thought you might like to see what I've been sewing as well. So I got this dress, you'd be amazed to know, from a charity shop. Lovely denim dress. It's lovely, lovely, soft. Oh dear, that light is awful, isn't it? I'll move around a bit more. Right, let's try that. That might work a bit better. I'm sort of squidging into the corner a bit. I should have set myself up a bit better, shouldn't I, really? Okay, so this dress is a lovely denim dress. It's really, really soft denim. When I got it, though, it had the I think it was, I think it's the style of it, to be honest. The collar and the cuffs were quite frayed, but I didn't like that look. So I have this beautiful piece of Liberty fabric. Look at this. Let me just show you a bit closer. Isn't that gorgeous? Just love all the little roses on it and everything. So I decided to use that to do the collar and the cuffs. Just cover those up, and then what I'm doing now, this is the start of a long process, I don't expect to be wearing this till winter, is I'm embroidering on the bottom of the left hand side. So let me just show you. So I love doing these. It's really, really simple, just done with lots of French knots. This is a lazy daisy stitch. This is another sort of lazy daisy stitch type thing. I'm just going to put lots and lots of different, look, you can see how it's frayed all along the bottom. That's what it's like, was like on the collar and the cuffs. I might leave the bottom though. So yeah, I'm going to do lots and lots of embroidery all along the bottom of that bit. I think that should look very nice. So that's an ongoing project. I picked that out. It just hangs in my wardrobe, and every so often I pick it out, pick up on an embroidery hoop and just do a bit more. So that's that one. So I've done that with quite a few bits and pieces of my clothes. I think I've probably shown you before that I did, I have a pair of jeans which I've embroidered on. So I've got a big sunflower on the knee. I've got a sort of a big spiral on one bit and some more flowers. Then on the back pocket I did embroidered mushrooms. And I wear them such a lot. And they're actually doing pretty well, actually. You'd think that, you know, the embroidery wouldn't stand up to the test of time. There's a couple of bits now where it's just started wearing away. You just make sure you keep away from seams and places where you use your hands a lot, I think. And I always wash them inside out as well, just to be on the safe side. I think when this dress is done, what I should probably do is put it in a wash bag and wash it in that, so that, you know, there's no chance of it getting snagged. So yes, so that was good. Oh, another thing. So this is something my mum used to do, and she taught me how to do it when I was up staying with her in February. And so I thought I'd just show you what I've done recently. So if I can just find all the bits. Excuse the rustling. All right, here we go. So these are coasters made from bottle tops. How cool is that? Now, these ones I haven't put a backing on, partly because I wanted to show you the backs. I'll just show you that one as well. Okay. So, but what you can do is you can put, get a piece of felt and cut it to shape and then glue it on the back. And then also it means that it won't flex about quite as much as it does. So what I did with these, for these, is I've just got a collection of bottle tops. Sorry, rustling coming up. Just these these ones, and it actually says on it, please recycle me. Can't see because it doesn't go in focus. I have to get a camera, shouldn't I? I just do it on my phone, and therefore things don't focus very well, but maybe if I got a camera I could be a bit more fancy. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so so just ordinary little bottle tops that have been used. You can't use the ones that are that you buy for making beer and stuff like that, because the edges aren't crimped in, and you need the ones with the crimped in edges. And obviously it's better to get them that aren't dented as well, that aren't sort of bent in the process. So what you do with this is you cut out a piece of fabric. So I've got these with little elephants on, they're so cute. And you need to sew around the edges, and what you do is you sew a running stitch around about I would say probably about 1/2 centimetre in, maybe a bit more than that actually. I suppose if we're doing it in old imperial, I would say probably between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. That's not really very helpful, is it? Anyway, about finger's width in. Let's say it that way, but a finger's width in all the way around. Do a running stitch all the way around. Draw it up, pop your bottle top in the middle, and then fold it in, and then you just need to tuck the ends in a little bit. That's the fiddly bit. Let me just show you. So yeah, you can see on this one, I've just sort of tucked the ends in, and then just sewn it together. So that's, look, this one's got a little bee on it. And then let's find another one. Take this rustly bag out of the way. So look, here's one with a little elephant on. And so then what you do is you just basically sew through the fabric, sewing the bits together, and then you just sew them, and so you got them in a, you know, in the circular shape. So you've got 7 in each one centre, and then all the other ones going around. Really great use for using up your old bottle tops. If you don't use them a lot, get friendly with your local pub and ask them if you can, or ask your friends to collect them. My partner Gary collects them as well, so he quite often will bring a bag over and say, here you go, I've got you some more. These I get when I go to bingo. I ask the ladies behind the bar to collect them up for me, and she gives me them in a little bag afterwards, after the at the end of the event. So that's really cool. I get them that way as well. And of course you could make them bigger. So I've only done these with 7, but you could add another row round and they'd make a brilliant trivet for a teapot. So I've actually got one. Can't see it at the moment. So my mum made loads of these as like presents for people and stuff, and but now again she can't do the sewing anymore, so I was like, oh, you must show me how to do them so I can do them. So I made that one a little while ago, and I made that one last night. It takes me about an hour and a half to make one, I think. I'm not particularly fast. And I started doing this one with sort of bees and elephants on. So I might put that one together later today. So I've been having fun doing these. I thought they're great sort of little things for fundraisers, or just nice to have around the house. I use loads of coasters all the time because I've got lots of sort of bare wood everywhere, so I like having coasters everywhere. And so yeah, it's kept me busy. Right, that's that one. Oh, right, next one. I'm really super pleased with this. So, do you remember last time I was telling you about the Flower Fairies calendar? I showed you the Flower Fairies calendar that I got from Simply Crochet as a sort of a sign-up thing. And I absolutely love it. I really do. But I was a little intimidated by the patterns because they are quite difficult. And I was just thinking, oh, you know, I'm not sure I want to start one of these and get frustrated with it and then put it down and not be able to do it. So in the end, and I'm not really quite sure why I did this, but hang on, where is it? Oh, have I lost it? Hang on. Oh no, there it is. I thought I'd lost the bag with it in. Anyway, I decided to do a different one to start with. I'm just going to get it so you can see the front page. Hang on. Where are you? Where's the front? There we go. So again, this is a page 4 pattern. How cute is this? This is so sweet. Now, I think I paid about £4 for it, which I thought was really reasonable, you know, for this doll. The instructions are fantastic. So I printed it out because I prefer to work with a paper copy, which I can scribble on, make notes on, write down notes on the phone with somebody else or whatever. But if you look, so I'm not going to show you the pattern because obviously it's a paid for one, but if I just show you the layout, it's laid out like this all the way through. So you've got, you know, diagrams, and then you've got the wording on the other side. It's perfect for if you want to follow it on your mobile. You know, it really is brilliant. It's really clearly written. There is no point at which I've just gone, I have no idea what she's getting at here, or anything like that. And I don't consider myself to be a particularly great at crocheting. I'm fairly basic, you know. I can do some fancy stitches, but not really. You know, this was my first attempt at a really complex amigurumi, and I'm loving it. I will show you how far I've got. What have I done with the bag again? Right. So she's got wire in. So I'm sorry, she's headless. So this is so cute. I know, so that, you know, this is going to end up being the picture, isn't it? I can just tell. So yeah, she's got wire in her hands and in her legs, and and her neck as well. So the head is actually going to go. This is the head. It's not finished yet, and the head sort of comes down, and then it has a bit that goes inside, so it actually sits right on top of on the neck thing like that, and then you sort of sew it on. I'm waiting for some eyes at the moment, so I can put the eyes in before I can then finish off the head. So that's why she's a headless doll. But if you look, it's actually got shaping for the knees and the calves and things as well. It's just really, really cute. I'm really pleased with it. So the yarn that I'm using is the yarn that I got for the Flower Fairies stuff. If you remember last time, I picked up some pale colours of yarn. So that pack has been very handy. And I'm currently, oh, that's her hair. It looks like Medusa at the moment, doesn't it? And I'm currently making a dress out of this beautiful pinky red colour. Oh, just looks crimson in this light, but I can assure you it's a really pinky red, like almost like a raspberry red. So this is the start of her dress that I was making yesterday. I'm using a 2 mil hook for the body, and then a 2.5 mil hook for the clothes. So it is quite fine. I got hold of this wire. This is 2 mil wire, and it's really pliable. You can just bend it with your fingers, although for some really fiddly bits I have used needle nose pliers as well. And yeah, stuffing, and that's it. I don't think there's anything else in there to show you. So yeah, I am really enjoying this process, and in fact it didn't take me that long to do. One day I'd done one leg, and the following day I did the other leg and the whole of the body. And then another day I did the hair. So it's not, you know, it's not torturous, it's not taking forever, and it's definitely made me quite confident about doing it again. So yeah, it's Moonlight Crochet 89. I'm trying to remember now whether I saw this on Etsy or whether I saw it on Ravelry. I'm not sure, but anyway, here we go. It's the Sarah doll, and it's by Moonlight Crochet 89. So do take a look and see if you can you know, if you want to go on, but she's done lots and lots of different ones as well. Oh, and also there's a whole wardrobe to go with her, not just the dress. So look at this. Isn't that just so cute? Look, I love this beret, and look at the little rabbit. It's just, oh, just so adorable. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm having great fun making this. Took it on to show my friends yesterday, and they were like, oh my god, that's so cute. So don't know what I'm making it for. It's probably going to end up just sitting up here, I think, but I'm having fun. So, you know, works for me. So maybe I think maybe when I've done this, I might go and do one of the flower fairies. But I just, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it was really, really nice for me to find out that actually, yes, I can crochet something, A, very intricate, and B, very difficult. I think that's the word I was going for. Kind of forgot halfway through my sentence. Sorry, everybody. Right, what else am I going to show you? My Fair Isle scarf. So you might remember I started this ages ago, and basically what I'm doing is I'm using up loads and loads of odds and ends. I have this lovely book, 200 Fair Isle Designs by Mary Jane Mucklestone. It is absolutely wonderful. I recommend this book so much. All the patterns really clearly set out, with a knitted example and then a couple of different colourways, and yeah, it's just, and they're proper Fair Isle designs because they only ever use 2 colours in 1 row, which makes them look fantastic. They can look really, really complicated, but in fact they're actually quite straightforward to do. So I've got I've got another bag of lids in there. I wondered what the rustling was. Okay, so let me show you how far I've got. Now my idea with this was to do one a week, I think. And I think generally what I've done is I've ended up doing like 4 or 5 one week and then not picked it up for several weeks. So it's probably working out about right now. So look at this. How gorgeous is this? So this one, I think I said before, the colours didn't contrast enough. So that one's not so great. But then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a big one interspersed with a small one or a couple of small ones, then another big one, and so on. And yeah, I'm just really pleased with the way this is, coming out. It's really great fun, and I'm not sort of overthinking it too much, really. I just go, I want a small one. Well, that's the other thing as well, with the patterns, they're all arranged from thin narrow bands at the start of the book, and then it goes into thicker and more complicated ones as you go further on. So I just go, I need a thin one, and I almost pretty much pick one at random. So yeah, and it's actually quite a neat small little project to take about, as long as I do a little bit of planning beforehand. So I maybe just think, all right, okay, I'm going to use these different colours in the next one, and so I just chuck them in the bag, and then I'll maybe choose a pattern once I get to it. So I have got, just move the laptop again. I've got this big box full of yarn. Look at all this. So this is all my mostly plain yarn. Oh, it's got some random bits in. Don't know why they're in there. So yeah, so lots and lots of mostly plain coloured sock yarn with the odd bit of you know, multicoloured in there, which I might use for a background with a very strong colour. And I'm just sort of picking them out and going, oh, those look good together. They make a nice contrast. And using them in my scarf. So yeah, so again, long-term project. It's going to probably take me a year or more, but it's nice things to sort of pick up and put down when I'm in between projects, or not quite sure what I want to do next, or just fancy doing a little bit of Fair Isle. So next thing I want to tell you, my rainbow sweater. My poor old rainbow sweater. So if you remember, this is one that was grey. I was using, what was the pattern I was using? Oh, I can't remember now, I'm really sorry. I might have put it down in show notes in one of my previous videos. It's gone out of my mind, I can't think of it. It's a very popular 3 pattern anyway, and it has stripes across the front and across here. And the idea was that I was going to use it, it's like a 4-ply yarn, a drops design yarn, and I was going to use it to do grey and then lovely rainbow stripes and then grey for the rest of the sweater. I've pulled it back, I think now 4 times, because either the sizing was wrong or I hadn't got the stripes the way that I wanted them, or what, I don't know. Anyway, I started it again and I just thought, I'm not loving this. It's just not doing anything for me at all. And I think what it is I need to do a yoked one with the rainbow. I do want a grey sweater with the rainbow stripes, but I think I want to do a yoked one rather than one where the stripes went across and then up for the sleeves and then round, so it had more of the sort of jaggedy thing. And also, because the yarn, I pulled it back and re-knitted it a few times, it really needs to be washed and stretched, and I took it all back and I wound it into hanks, and I'm just looking at it and going, I don't even know whether it's going to work. So I feel quite sad about it, really. And I don't like to let things defeat me. I don't like to sort of go, oh, I give up on this one. That's not me. I'm not a giver-upper. So maybe, you know, at some point, maybe I might resurrect it at some point in the future and go, oh, sod it, I'm going to just go for it and just see. But at the moment, it is in yarn purgatory, not knowing whether it's going to be resurrected or just put away forever. I mean, I might even, and this really hurts my heart to say, I might even just buy some more of the grey drops yarn and just start it again with new yarn. Ouch, that hurt to say. Maybe that might make me resurrect the project. We'll see. So yeah, so that was a bit sad because I've shown you it lots of times, I think, on the podcast, and now it is, for now, it is no more. So right, I have one more thing to show you, and I've got a tip for you as well. So I'm going to give you a tip in a minute. So that's my bottle tops again. Okay, so this is a new, well, not that new because I've done the first one, sock that I'm doing. And this is slightly different to what I might have done before, because if you look, it's got an enormous rib. So I think it's probably going to need to be folded over like that. So this is the sock, and it's quite an interesting one because I've got the warband here. Yeah. So this is a Regia one, and it's called Perfect, as in the pun on the word pear. Basically the idea is that you knit with the cream until you knit a rib in the cream till you get to the end of the cream, and then you knit the first part of the sock. I don't know why I'm showing it on there. I could actually show you the real thing. So yeah, so you knit on the cream till it gets to the end of the cream. Then when it starts going into colours, you knit the body of the sock. When it goes to cream again, you then do the heel. When you finish your heel, you then, I had to cut out a little bit of cream actually at that point, join it on again, and then you knit the rest of the sock. Now, I like the idea, and then you end up with a cream toe, yeah. So I like the idea of that. I thought this is really cool. But what I was really disappointed in was I had this much left of sock to knit without any more colour in it. So I've ended up with this huge, great bit of cream sock. And this one I was knitting for, I was sort of knitting it for a size 5 UK sock. So this isn't particularly big. So I was thinking, gosh, if you're a size 7 or something, it's going to be even bigger, isn't it? So I was a little bit disappointed really with that. Anyway, I do like the colours. I do like the way it's come out. I'm on with the second one. I think I've just gone to the colour on there. Again, I'm just knitting it plain, obviously, because this, the sock yarn, you just let the pattern speak for itself. But it does look like Pharaoh. And people watch me doing, oh my goodness, that looks really complicated. I'm like, no, it's not really. So they very helpfully have, I'm knitting from the inside out at the moment, but where the end of the sock yarn is, if you like, they have this long bit of yellow, so that you know that's you know, you've come to the end of the pattern, as it were. So that's really handy. So yeah, I'm sort of don't love them, but I don't hate them. I like them enough to continue. Anyway, my partner Gary said to me the other day, he was complaining about how when you wear shop bought socks, they always dig into your ankles. They always leave like a mark around your ankles. And I have made him a couple of knitted pairs before, which he really likes. And he said to me, look, these ones don't dig in. He said, do you think you could make me some more? So I was like, I'm sure that can be arranged. So what I'm actually going to do with this one, I'm going to take it back from the end of the toe, and I'm just going to knit a little bit more in and then do the toe again to make it the right size for him. So he can have this pair of socks, and because he's not bothered about what they look like, he said, but he just really enjoys wearing woolen socks. That is fine by me, because I love making them, but I've got enough for myself, so I shall make those for him, and I shall probably do another pair for him soon. So, tip, if you like, as I do, winding up your balls of yarn into a yarn cake, I find this a much easier way to use yarn, because I find that if I'm using a ball, by the time you get sort of near to the end, you find that it's all getting in a tangled mess. And I find this keeps them much neater. I also find that then it's much easier to store them, because I can literally stack them up. So look, you get like that, and they stack up really nicely in the drawer and everything. So, but the thing I use, so the other thing as well I do is I put a little tag on to say what the yarn is. So for example, if I'm, this is Starcraft DK and Starcraft Special, and if I get a ball of yarn and I do it into yarn cakes, then it makes 2 yarn cakes. So one of them will have the rolled up label stuck into the centre, and then the other one gets a little label, and I've just put on that Stylecraft DK lipstick, and then I've put the shade number 246 as well. So, but the other thing I do, just to help keep the ends in check, 2 pear slides. So that's my end. Just keeps it really handy, and it stops all the balls unravelling. So if you've got a project in your bag, you know what it's like, you have 4 or 5 balls of yarn in, you go to get one out and you just find they've made spaghetti, and it's just a nightmare to control. So so what I do is these hair slides, I found them in B&M and Pound Stretcher, Poundland, you know, places like that, and they'll do you like, you get like a circular piece of card, and there's 30 hair clips on for £1, incredibly cheap. And I mentioned that, you know, in the US and in other countries there's probably something similar as well that you can get over there. So just really, really nice, easy way to keep your yarn ends where you want to see them. And of course you can use that on anything. You don't have to just use it on yarn cakes. It will work on a wound ball of yarn. It will also work on you know, if you keep it in the skein as well. And also means that you're not fiddling around trying to think, where did I tuck it in, you know. So there you go, that's my tip for the day. So I think that's everything. Quite a lot of stuff I had to show you today, as probably to be expected, given that I've not been here for a couple of months. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've been up to. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for everybody who's kept going till the end. Yay! Thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm astounded that I still keep getting new subscribers. Oh, sorry, if the table's wobbling, it's because Bear the cat is sitting on the other end of it and having a really good wash. So he's sort of wobbling the table a little bit, which is wobbling the camera. Anyway, I think it's time I went, and I think I need another cup of tea. I'm really thirsty. And yeah, I shall see you again, hopefully not quite as long as last time, for the next one. Bye.